Summary of Your Erroneous Zones, Step-by-Step Advice for Escaping the Trap of Negative Thinking by Dyer. Enjoy the video. Please subscribing to my channel for more great content like this. You'll be notified when I upload new videos. Overall and Key Topics of Your Erroneous Zones by Dyer. Your Erroneous Zones is a self-help book published in 1976 that focuses on identifying and overcoming self-destructive habits and thought patterns. The book's central premise is that individuals have the power to take control of their lives and emotional well-being by recognizing and changing their erroneous zones, areas of thinking and behavior that lead to unhappiness, anxiety, and unfulfillment. Key topics and themes include 1. Self-reliance and personal responsibility. Dyer emphasizes the importance of taking ownership of one's life and choices rather than blaming external factors or other people for one's problems. 2. Present moment living. The book encourages readers to focus on the present rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. 3. Overcoming guilt. Dyer discusses how feelings of guilt are often unproductive and offers strategies for letting go of unnecessary guilt. 4. Managing anxiety and worry. The author provides techniques for reducing anxiety and learning to deal with uncertainty. 5. Breaking free from approval-seeking behavior. Dyer explores how the need for others' approval can be limiting and offers ways to develop self-approval. 6. Exploring the concept of self-worth. The book emphasizes the importance of developing a strong sense of self-worth independent of external validation. 7. Overcoming procrastination. Dyer provides insights into why people procrastinate and offers strategies for taking action. 8. Declaring independence from the past. The author encourages readers to let go of past hurts and resentments that may be holding them back. 9. Eliminating anger and cultivating rationality. Dyer discusses the destructive nature of anger and provides techniques for developing more rational responses to challenging situations. 10. Accepting yourself. The book emphasizes the importance of self-acceptance and letting go of perfectionism. 11. Cultivating loving relationships. Dyer explores how to develop healthier, more fulfilling relationships by first developing a loving relationship with oneself. 12. Overcoming the fear of the unknown. The author addresses how fear of change and the unfamiliar can limit personal growth and offers strategies for embracing new experiences. Throughout the book, Dyer uses a combination of anecdotes, practical exercises, and psychological insights to help readers identify their own erroneous zones and develop healthier thought patterns and behaviors. He challenges readers to question long-held beliefs and societal conditioning that may be holding them back from achieving happiness and fulfillment. The book's approach is rooted in cognitive behavioral principles, emphasizing the connection between thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Dyer argues that by changing one's thoughts and perceptions, it's possible to change one's emotional responses and, ultimately, one's life circumstances. Your Erroneous Zones was a groundbreaking work in the self-help genre, popularizing many concepts that have become commonplace in personal development literature. Its accessible writing style and practical advice made complex psychological principles accessible to a wide audience, contributing to its enduring popularity and influence in the field of self-improvement. The book's overall message is one of empowerment, encouraging readers to take charge of their mental and emotional lives, and to cultivate a sense of personal responsibility for their happiness and well-being. By identifying and addressing these erroneous zones, Dyer argues, individuals can lead more fulfilling, authentic, and self-directed lives. Chapter 1: The Illusion of Convention. In Your Erroneous Zones, Dyer delves into the concept of the illusion of convention, which is a powerful theme throughout the book. This idea challenges readers to question societal norms and expectations that often limit personal growth and happiness. Dyer paints a vivid picture of how many people live their lives based on a set of unwritten rules and conventions that they've never truly examined. He describes a world where individuals unconsciously follow paths laid out by others, their parents, teachers, peers, and society at large. These conventions dictate everything from career choices to personal relationships, from how we spend our free time to how we measure success. The author invites readers to imagine themselves as actors in a play, following a script they didn't write. This script tells them how to behave, what to value, and even what to feel. The problem, Dyer argues, is that many people never stop to question whether this script truly aligns with their own desires and values. He shares anecdotes of individuals who wake up one day feeling unfulfilled, despite having achieved all the conventional markers of success: a good job, a nice house, a family. These people find themselves asking, is this all there is? They've followed the conventional path, but it hasn't led them to happiness. Dyer challenges readers to examine their beliefs and behaviors critically. He asks them to consider which of their choices are genuinely their own, and which are simply the result of following convention without thought. Are they pursuing a career because it truly excites them, or because it's what their parents expected? Are they in a relationship because it brings them joy, or because society says they should be? The author doesn't suggest that all conventions are inherently bad. Instead, he encourages readers to make conscious choices about which conventions to follow and which to discard. He argues that true freedom and happiness come from living authentically, which often means breaking free from the illusion of convention. Dyer provides exercises and thought experiments to help readers identify the conventions that might be holding them back. He encourages them to imagine what their lives might look like if they were free from societal expectations. What would they do differently? How would they feel? Throughout this exploration, Dyer emphasizes that breaking free from the illusion of convention isn't about rebellion for its own sake. It's about living a life that's true to one's own values and desires. It's about taking responsibility for one's own happiness, rather than expecting to find it by following a predetermined path. The author acknowledges that challenging convention can be uncomfortable and even scary. It might mean disappointing others or facing criticism. But he argues that the rewards, a sense of authenticity, greater happiness, and the freedom to live life on one's own terms far outweigh the challenges. In essence, Dyer's exploration of the illusion of convention is a call to mindfulness and intentional living. It's an invitation to wake up from the trance of societal expectations and to consciously create a life that aligns with one's true self. By recognizing and questioning the conventions that shape our lives, Dyer suggests, we can break free from our erroneous zones and move towards greater fulfillment and self-actualization. Chapter 2, The Illusion of Independence. In Your Erroneous Zones, Wayne Dyer explores the concept of the illusion of independence, offering a thought-provoking perspective on how we perceive our own autonomy and freedom. This idea challenges readers to reconsider their understanding of independence and its role in their lives. Dyer begins by painting a picture of the typical American ideal of independence, the self-made individual who needs no one, who stands alone against the world. He describes how this image is glorified in our culture, from rugged cowboys in old westerns to modern-day entrepreneurs who seemingly built empires from nothing. This ideal, he argues, is not just unrealistic but potentially harmful. He invites readers to consider the many ways in which we are all interconnected and interdependent. He points out that from the moment we're born, we rely on others for our survival and well-being. As we grow, this web of connections expands. We depend on farmers for food, builders for shelter, teachers for education, and countless others for the myriad services that make our lives possible. Dyer challenges the notion that needing others is a sign of weakness. Instead, he suggests that recognizing and embracing our interdependence can be a source of strength and richness in our lives. He shares stories of individuals who have found greater fulfillment and success by learning to collaborate and connect with others, rather than trying to go it alone. He also delves into the psychological aspects of the illusion of independence. He discusses how the fear of being dependent or vulnerable can lead people to push others away, resulting in isolation and loneliness. He describes individuals who pride themselves on their self-sufficiency, only to find themselves feeling empty and unfulfilled. Dyer doesn't suggest that all forms of independence are illusory or negative. Instead, he encourages readers to seek a balance between independence and interdependence. He argues that true strength comes from knowing when to stand on your own and when to reach out for support or connection. Throughout this exploration, Dyer provides exercises and reflections to help readers examine their own beliefs about independence. He asks them to consider where these beliefs came from and whether they're truly serving them. Are they avoiding asking for help out of a misguided sense of pride? Are they missing out on meaningful connections because they're afraid of appearing needy? He also discusses how the illusion of independence can impact relationships. He describes couples who struggle because each partner is trying too hard to maintain their individual independence, rather than embracing the mutual support and interdependence that can make a relationship thrive. Dyer challenges readers to redefine independence. Rather than seeing it as a state of not needing anyone or anything, he he suggests viewing it as the freedom to choose one's connections and dependencies. True independence, he argues, comes from being secure enough in oneself to reach out to others, to ask for help when needed, and to offer support in return. In essence, Dyer's exploration of the illusion of independence is a call for a more nuanced and realistic view of human relationships and personal autonomy. It's an invitation to recognize the web of connections that sustain us, and to find strength and fulfillment in those connections rather than in isolation. By challenging the myth of the completely self-reliant individual, Dyer encourages readers to embrace a more interconnected way of living. This shift in perspective, he suggests, can lead to richer relationships, greater personal growth, and a more authentic and satisfying life experience. Chapter 3: The Illusion of Independence. In your Erroneous Zones, Wayne Dyer delves deeply into the concept of the illusion of independence, offering a nuanced exploration of this complex idea. He challenges readers to reconsider their understanding of independence and its role in their lives, using real-world examples and scenarios to illustrate his points. Dyer begins by describing John, a successful business executive in his mid-40s. John prides himself on his self-reliance and independence. He boasts about how he never asks for help, works longer hours than anyone else, and doesn't need emotional support from others. On the surface, John seems to embody the American ideal of independence. However, as Dyer delves deeper into John's story, a different picture emerges. Despite his professional success, John feels isolated and unfulfilled. His marriage is strained because he struggles to open up to his wife or admit when he needs support. His children feel distant from him, perceiving him as unapproachable. At work, while respected for his abilities, John is not well liked, and his team struggles to collaborate effectively with him. Through John's example, Dyer illustrates how the illusion of independence can lead to a life that looks successful on the outside but feels empty on the inside. He points out that John's refusal to acknowledge his need for others isn't true independence, but rather a fear of vulnerability masked as self-reliance. Dyer contrasts John's story with that of Sarah, a small business owner. Sarah initially tried to run her business entirely on her own, believing that asking for help would make her appear weak or incompetent. She worked around the clock, trying to handle everything from accounting to marketing to customer service by herself. Predictably, she soon found herself overwhelmed and on the verge of burnout. It was only when Sarah realized the fallacy of her thinking that things began to turn around. She started to reach out to others, hiring an accountant to manage her finances, collaborating with other local businesses for mutual support, and even asking her family for emotional support when she felt stressed. Rather than making her weak, these connections made Sarah and her business stronger. She found that by acknowledging her interdependence with others, she was actually able to achieve more independence in the areas that truly mattered to her. Dyer uses these contrasting examples to illustrate a key point: true independence isn't about not needing anyone, but about having the confidence and self-assurance to reach out and connect with others when necessary. He argues that recognizing our interdependence actually allows for a healthier, more genuine form of independence. The author also explores how this illusion plays out in relationships. He describes a couple, Tom and Lisa, who both pride themselves on their independence. They rarely ask each other for help or support, believing that doing so would make them appear needy or weak. As a result, their relationship lacks intimacy and emotional connection. They're together, but often feel alone. Dyer contrasts this with another couple, Mark and Amy, who have embraced the idea of interdependence. They freely ask each other for help and support, seeing it as a strength of their relationship rather than a weakness. This openness allows them to build a deeper connection and actually enhances their individual independence, as they feel secure enough in their relationship to pursue their own interests and goals. Through these real-life examples, Dyer illustrates how the illusion of independence can manifest in various aspects of life, from career to relationships to personal growth. He emphasizes that true independence isn't about isolation or never needing help, but about having the confidence to reach out and connect with others, to ask for support when needed, and to offer it in return. Dyer encourages readers to examine their own lives and relationships through this lens. Are they, like John, holding themselves back from meaningful connections in the name of self-reliance? Or are they, like Sarah, Mark, and Amy, finding greater strength and fulfillment through embracing interdependence? By challenging the myth of complete self-reliance and offering these tangible examples, Dyer provides a roadmap for readers to move beyond the illusion of independence. He invites them to embrace a more interconnected way of living that can lead to richer relationships, greater personal growth, and a more authentic and satisfying life experience. Conclusion. In Chapter 1, the author Wayne Dyer highlights the illusion of conventions and the negative impact of blindly following them. The book emphasizes the importance of questioning conventions and taking risks to live a fulfilling life. Dyer's message encourages us to take control of our lives and be proactive rather than relying on external factors or societal conventions. In Chapter 2, the author offers valuable insights into achieving psychological independence. Being independent does not mean completely cutting off all social contact but freeing ourselves from relationships that feel like obligations. Parents who rely too heavily on their children may prevent them from developing the skills and confidence they need to lead their lives. Dependency might be rooted in the family and affect children's search for independence. When they get married, they are likely to replace their dependence on their parents with that of their partner, which harms the marriage itself. The author advises us to pay more attention to ourselves in marriage and adopt a new attitude towards this declaration of independence. It is important to recognize and overcome the illusion of independence and embrace the journey towards genuine self-reliance. In Chapter 3, the author explores how anger can be physically and mentally harmful. The author describes anger as feeling stuck or immobilized when something unexpected does not happen. It often arises from an unrealistic expectation that the world should conform to our wishes. The erroneous zone of anger lies in the belief that it works in getting our way when it doesn't change people at all but just makes them want to control the person who gets angry. The author provides 3 steps to eliminate anger: learning how to express it in healthy ways, shifting our way of thinking, and stopping taking responsibility for other people's actions. The author also advises laughing more and having a sense of humor to eliminate anger. By being aware of what we are telling ourselves and thinking in another way, we can create new feelings and behaviors to help us cope in a healthier way. Finally, what does a person look like who has cleared up all the erroneous zones? The author gives us some descriptions. First, and most obviously, we will find that these people love almost every aspect of life. They are very happy in everything they do and waste no time complaining or fantasizing. They live in the present without guilt or regret for the past or worry about the future. They are mentally independent and never seek approval. They are guided by their inner self, not by the outside world. They are honest. They love nature, and most of all, they love themselves. Sounds pretty good, right? Perhaps this world does not exist completely without any mistakes. However, it is possible to make the most of the present and develop ourselves. We can do it now if we like. Thank you for listening. I hope this content is useful to you. If you like this kind of content, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel to support our team.